Good morning. It's a beautiful winter morning here in Virginia. We've got snow on the ground, had a couple of light snows over the past few days, and it's about 15 degrees, but the sun is shining and looks like it's going to be a good day. We are wrapping up the roof this weekend, so last weekend we got the ice and water shield on. And today we will put a little bit more of that up at the ridge of that middle section there, and then put on the underlayment, and then this roof will be watertight. So we're using a couple of different products here for the membrane. We're using Grace Ice and Water Shield, which you typically see used everywhere except the valley. And in the valley, we're using something called GAF Weather Watch. It's a similar product, but it is a little more rigid. It's more like rolled asphalt roofing, but it's sticky on one side, just like the ice and water. But it's a lot easier to use in a valley where you're not rolling it on flat, because it lays flat, and it's a little bit easier to adjust once it's down. So I'm using that in the valleys and using ice and water everywhere else. Let's take a look at the products over here. So this is the Grace Ice and Water, really good stuff, very sticky, self-sealing when a nail or a staple goes through it. And it's very easy to apply if you're laying it flat, but if you're doing it on a valley or up against a wall, it gets kind of tricky, and everyone who's used it has probably had a disaster where it's rolled over and stuck to itself. And once it does that, there's no going back. So that's what we're using on all the edges. This is the Weather Watch, the GAF Weather Watch. Very similar. It's got a plastic backing that you pull off, and it's sticky on the back. It's got like a granular surface on top, kind of like asphalt rolled roofing. So it does pretty much the same thing, a little bit easier to work with in the valleys. And then on top of this, we'll be doing the Tyvek Protec roof underlayment, which is real nice. Real long exposure. It's got a 6-month exposure, and it's a little tacky. It's got this textured surface, and it's a little tacky, so it's pretty easy to walk on. And we'll be attaching this with our Stinger cap stapler, which has served us very well. We've done thousands of these cap staples, and it has held up very well. So that's the plan. So by the end of this weekend, we'll be weather tight on the entire roof, and then we'll move on to the front porch. See you next time.